There we go. Hi, I'm Kate with Helmar. I am Helmar Live Ustream tonight, and we will be creating a mini canvas. So I'm going to take the attention off my face and down towards the fun details that we'll be working on. So excuse my hand, and we're moving it down to the goodies today. I'm pretty sure Cheryl posts the events. If you go to the Helmar's Facebook page, the Ustream events are listed, I think, pretty sure under the events in on the events tab on the Facebook page. Cheryl will be able to tell you definitely if that's where it is, but I'm pretty sure all the events are listed there. And we also create individual events. If you go looking, posted on the Helmar Facebook page, that tell you probably about a week in advance what we're doing for classes. I'm pretty sure we have one every Tuesday night in April at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it'll be, if I'm right, just a couple a month, one every other week. Or did we decide on when, starting in May?
I haven't talked to the team yet, no.
Okay, so we'll have to see what it is in May. All right, I'm going to get started. I am working on, or showing you today, this fun, I reset myself up. This is a mini canvas that I created for my daughter, and I used lots of Helmar glue, so you can see, to create this. So I used Helmar Premium Craft Glue. I used Helmar 450, Helmar Gemstone Glue, and Zap Dots. So those are the Helmar products that I'll be highlighting today. And you can find all of these products. We have a big parent website now, helmarworldwide.com, and you would find the blog and the Australian Helmar shop and the US Canada Helmar shop, all on helmarworldwide.com. So any of these products that I work with today, any of the Helmar products, you can go shopping on helmarworldwide.com. And if you have any questions, just pop us a question via email or on the Facebook page. So I'm going to move those aside and just give you a little highlight of my mini canvas. So I created this mini canvas actually for a blog hop with Susan Weckhesser and Hydrangea Hippo this past week, and I had so much fun doing it, I thought I would teach it as a class. This is actually a small canvas, a mini canvas, a 4x4, that I altered. You can see that I used some ink, and I used some stamps, and I used a small picture of my girlfriend and her sassy friends, and I used lots of glue to hold it on. The little embellishments on the side were from Hydrangea Hippo, and I do have a couple of Hydrangea Hippo ones I'm using today. Thank you so much, Lucinda. And then what I did, and you know what? I don't think I have the stand. Cheryl, can you give me the candlestick? Thank you.
Candlestick, where is it?
It's on my desk, my shelf right there. You can't see. And I glued it all with Helmar 450 to a $1 candlestick that I bought, that I had actually used for a cake stand, a record cake stand that I no longer needed. So I actually recycled this candlestick to use here. And this was pretty cool. And I had it sitting out on my table, and my daughter Lily, who is that one right there, pink.
Where is it?
On this shelf right here.
Oh, okay.
My daughter Lily's friend Hannah loved it so much I told her I would make her one for class today. So this is the other candlestick. That's Cheryl helping me out because I forgot my candlestick. So you can see that I've already used this candlestick, and we're going to give it some new love. So I'm starting off today with a 4x4 canvas. I bought a whole bunch of them on clearance at Michael's on clearance. I think I paid $1 for each one, and these are already primed canvases. I don't know that you necessarily need to have a primed canvas. but they're 4x4, and you can do this on any size canvas. I just liked the 4x4 because it whipped up quick and it was super cute and it was perfect for an Instagram photo and the stamp that I'm going to be using that looks like a Polaroid. So we're starting with this today, and I'm going to turn on another light because it's starting to get dark. Sorry that it's going to turn everything a little bit yellow. And so I'm starting with this, and I am starting with some paper. I have pulled out, I know I already cut my paper. Of course, it's not here. My cut pieces of paper disappeared. So we're going to start with some paper for the bottom. And I'm going to cut this in 3 7/8 by 3 7/8 because it's square. Oh, I found it over here. Goodness. I'm all prepared and then I can't find what I need. So I've already cut my paper. A 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. And what I used, the first piece that I'm going to be using is by Pink Paisley. And they were a generous promo with us last month, and I'm just using some leftover paper from that. So I need to start with my base, and I'm just going to be gluing the paper on the 4x4 canvas. And I'm going to be using the premium craft glue for this. It's a clear glue that dries well and will stick well. Paper to canvas. And it dries pretty quick, and I did the outside corners because I want this to lay flat. And I'm just filling in the little bit in the middle. And I'm placing that straight on. And I'm just going to rub my fingers around the edges to make sure it's smooth. Nice and easy. And I'm going to close that up. And now I'm going to pull out some ink. I want to color my sides before I put on any more layers. And I'm going to go with a bright color that matches the other paper. And I'm using Quick Quotes Powder Puff Chalking Ink in Lemonade. And this is a really great ink that I use. I also designed for Quick Quotes. And with this ink, you just want to swipe. You don't want to rip the ink pad up. It holds a lot of ink. And I'm having a hard time letting you see the color. So let me move my light away a little bit because I really want you to see the color that goes on here. My light is just obnoxious today. Hi Sandy, how you doing? So I'm just going to go around all my edges and do this. Oh, there we go. Now you can see that bright lemonade yellow on the side. And I'm going to make sure that I add a little bit to the edges on the paper too. So we're pulling this all in together. And this is about as multimedia as I'm going to get is using ink tonight. We're not going to get all wet. This will dry really quick. It will whip up really quick. And I just want to make sure I'm filling it in all the way around. So when I glue it onto the candlestick, that the edges will show and have that nice yellow color. So happy you could join us, Sandy. Okay, so we have the base started. And you can see that I glued down the paper and I inked the sides. And now I'm going to set that to the side because we're going to do a little bit of stamping. And I'm using some craft paper. This is Paper Tray Ink craft paper. And we're going to be stamping on this. So I'm pulling out some stamps. These are Susan K. Webkesser stamps, co-branded with Unity. And this is called Instacute. And these are some really fantastic stamps that are camera-based. The stamp that I'm using, it looks like a giant Polaroid. See how cool that is? Hello, hello. And I'm going to be stamping this on the craft paper and then cutting it out. So I'm pulling out my Fisker stamp press. This is my favorite thing to stamp with these days because I can actually get something straight. And I'm going to flip it upside down and add my stamp to it. Now I'm going to line it up. And to color this in, no, that's not straight. Now I'm going to make it straight. So you can see you can line it up with the lines on the stamping press. And I'm going to be stamping in pink, and I'm using Memento Rosebud because I wanted it to be a bright color, and this is a fade resistant ink. So I'm just turning this over, the pad upside down, and dabbing. I want to make sure that I have all my edges done. I want to work quickly. I know I tend to overdo it, but it makes me happy. And I am going to stamp this right on. So you just have to turn it over and press it down. I like to press all the edges, make sure my image is stamped, because if I don't do it right the first time, I tend to do it. Those are Susan K. Wettkesser stamps. They're fantastic. Let me show you the picture of them. You can get them at Unity Stamps. And the website is unitystampcompany.com. Susan has some really fantastic stamps. So you can see my stamped image here, right there. And I want to stamp a saying across here. So I'm going to actually take my stamp off, and I usually wash that down with a baby wipe now. Thanks to Cheryl, I learned that little trick. But I'm pulling that off, and I'm pulling out one of the sayings from this. This saying, I'm trying to wear my glasses and do class. Not always easy. It says a picture is worth 1,000 words. So I'm going to be using this stamp across the bottom of the chevron that was stamped here. So I'm going to turn it around so I can actually see it and have it be straight. And I want to make sure that I have it. All right, and I'm going to actually be stamping this. Wash it off with baby wipes. I use no name brand baby wipes to just clean off my stamps. Cheryl gave me that hint a while ago, and it's so much easier to clean up. I don't make a mess of myself, which is really what's easier about it. So I'm using some Ranger Archival ink to stamp my sentiment. I like this ink on small words because it really does stand out. It's a nice bright black. So I just added my ink to that, and I'm going to turn it over onto my chevrons. I'm going to center it and stamp it down right in the center of these chevrons. You can see right here. Let me show you that. It says a picture is worth 1,000 words. So I'm going to cut this out now. And I'm actually going to use a blade to cut the middle out. And that's a very dangerous thing. I have a tendency to cut myself. So if I start bleeding and run off, you know what happened to me. So I'm just cutting out around my stamped image now. I want to trim this down as close as possible along the lines, because I'm going to use this as a frame for my Instagram picture. What I don't want to do is cut off the pink, because that is my outline, and we want that to pop when we put that on the canvas. So I'm just lining that up so I have very minimal trim around the edges. You see how that has very minimal trim? Thanks. And I'm going to move this out of the way now. I'm going to pull out my map and an X-Acto knife. Now, when you're using an X-Acto knife, you want to be very, very careful. If you're doing a straight edge, I like to use a ruler because there's nothing straight about me. You have a Fiskars one. The one that I have is a Westcott one that Cheryl shared with me. And I used it for when I did this right here, and it worked fantastic. The problem isn't the blade. The problem is me, because I can't cut straight to save my life. So in order to cut straight, I'm using the blade, and you want to make sure that you're pressing down, straight down, and pressing down and across the ruler. No. Again, I'm trying to cut as close to the pink as possible. And I may wind up freehanding it a little bit, which is what I did last time, even though I'm not straight. This is where I need just a little bit of patience. So I'm going to cut all the way around. And I want my corners to meet so it comes out. Cheryl, you're awful quiet in there. So for anybody who came in late, Cheryl's actually here at my house today. We have one more side to do. It does come with an assortment of really good blades. I'm just choosing to use the one that I know how to use. I think this particular one came with 4 different blades. You think 5? So I'm just going to turn this over. I know I'm very dangerous with this, please. If you have to close your eyes, feel free. This is the only part that takes a little bit of time and a little bit of patience in doing this canvas. And if you are good with scissors and cutting straight, then this is, you could do that too, but I'm not so hot at that. So I'm going to cover up my blade so I do not put my hand in it and take it away. And I just have one little part that didn't come out great, so I'm just going to rip that off. So I have a little Polaroid frame I did here, and I'm actually going to take the ink and just go around a little bit on the edges where I dug in with the X-Acto knife a little more than I wanted to. So it's pretty forgiving. And I'm just going to slide the pink ink on the edge. There we go. There we go. So I'm going to move this out of the way and these out of the way, and we can get to making some fun stuff. So I have this great picture. This is another one of the pictures from, these pictures were from Valentine's Day. My daughter had her friends over, and I'm just going to take the edges off of this picture that we just printed. And I'm just going to slightly put the picture underneath here. I'm going to just put a little bit of glue on the edges so my picture shows right here, and then we're going to back that. So just like that. So I'm turning my frame over, and on the edges, I'm just going to dab a little bit of the on the edges, on the thin parts of the frame, I'm going to dab a little bit of my Palmar Premium Craft Glue. And it dries clear, so if it goes over at all, then it's not an issue for my photo. There we go. And now I'm going to add some zap dots on the back of this. The zap dots are going to give it height when I back it with the 3 1/8 by 3 1/8 piece of yellow paper that I had cut out. So where are my tiny zap dots? I have some 1/4 inch zap dots. I'm using the white 1/4 inch square zap dots, and I'm going to put that around the frame. I'm actually going to put a little bit over the picture so it's holding it tight. And I do have some little pieces that I cut in half for where the frame is a little more narrow. You can cut any of your zap dots in half. That helps you elongate their use. And it helps you use them on smaller places. And I don't have any scissors with me right now. I wanted this narrow, so I just used some wire cutters. Going to do that one more time. And then I'm going to pull out my bigger zap dots to do the bottom of the frame. Now I have some, these half inch white square zap dots that I'm going to put along the bottom of my Polaroid frame. Now the zap dots give good height and dimension. This one is creating just a little bit of space between my paper and my photo mat so I can add a few embellishments. And I'm kind of doing this one a little backwards in the fact that I'm adding the embellishments after I mount this on the canvas. It just seemed to work best when I was creating it before. So I'm just pulling the tabs, the piece of paper tabs that protect the sticky on the zap dots. That sticky. They just peel right off. So now both sides are sticky. Forgot to take it off that one. There we go. All right. So I'm just turning this over and I'm going to place it evenly over my square piece of paper. And what I want to do is I'm mounting it. Sorry. I'm mounting it so my frame has a background. You can see right there. So this is now going to go onto our canvas, the canvas that I already created with the 3 7/8 piece of paper by 3 7/8 and ink the sides onto the canvas. And I'm going to just glue the back of our mounted frame with some premium craft glue. This is a clear glue again. And I'm going to flip that the right way. I'm just going to put this off a little bit crooked so you can see some of the pink paper that's underneath. And that pulls the pink in from the frame. You guys have extra commercials? Thank you, Sandy. So we have that. So now this looks great. It's super cute, but I want to add a few embellishments onto the side, and I'm going to do that now. So what I have for embellishments, let's see, I pulled out some flowers, and I pulled out a leaf, and I pulled out some pins, and I want to tuck it over here. I had done that over, if you can see, I had done it on this one. So I'm going to do a similar collection there. So I'm just going to build it as we're talking. And I have that fun leaf. I think I want to put that there. And I have some colorful flowers I think I want to put on. So I'm just testing it out right now to see what I like. I think I'll like that. So I'm going to turn it around so I can have a little steadier hand when doing this. But you'll be able to see what I'm doing upside down. So I'm going to start adding my embellishments. I'm going to curve my leaf on my stem on my leaf because I actually want that to come out underneath here and show a little bit. I took a little bit of manipulation on the last one to do this just how I wanted. And I'm going to tuck that there. So on the back of my leaf, I am going to use some 450 quick dry adhesive. It's a silicone based clear adhesive. And as it says, it dries very quick. And I'm just going to open that up and place some on my leaf. And I'm tucking the leaf underneath my frame. I'm going to curl that a little bit, and I think I want some of the pins underneath here too. So I'm going to take, I think only one pin this time. And I'm going to tuck it under and hope I don't pin myself. Everything okay?
Yeah, my battery's dying. I need to get my cord.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to switch on.
I'm going to stand up real quick so Cheryl can get her cord and stay attached to us. We're sharing a craft space, which, you know, with two very crafty women with a lot of crafty supplies isn't the easiest thing in the world. All of our cords seem to go underneath my table.
All right, I'll unplug something else here.
I have everything else plugged over here today, so.
Sit down, I'll scooch behind you.
Okay. All right, so I've tucked in, sorry about that. It was just a bag. I don't think anything broke. Did anything break?
No.
No, nothing broke. So I added the leaf, and I added the pin, and I want to say that was a Maya Road pin. I've had it for quite a while, so I'm trying to use up some of my supplies in doing this too. So I've added the pin, and now I want to add the two flowers. So I'm going to add them. I think I'm going to add one here and then one up in that corner today. So I'm going to use the 450 quick dry adhesive for that also. Now the 450 quick dry adhesive is really, really, really strong. Now I'm just pressing it down so it will seep into the flower and get a nice stick. It is one of my favorite adhesives because it dries so quickly. The one thing I really love about the 450 and the craft glue is that when it dries, you can, and if you have any strings, you can just rub those right off. There we go. And I'm going to put the other flower on the other corner. Oh, I think I like that.
Me too.
Thank you. And I'm going to just slide this down because I see I'm hiding a word. Do you need me to move? I sit with my chair way out, so anybody trying to get past me, it's just difficult. So this is the canvas part. And for those of you who've just joined me, I created this mini canvas and I just used paper and glue and ink and stamps and a few embellishments. Super easy. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my canvas that I created, and I'm going to place it on a used candlestick. Now, I don't know about you guys, but we can get these at the dollar store. And I used this for another project before that I didn't need anymore. So I ripped it right off and saved it and decided to use it as a base for my canvas so it would stand up high and stand out. And I am going to use 450 quick dry adhesive to do this because as, I don't know if you saw my other canvas that I created earlier, I can shake this upside down. I've tossed it around. It's stuck on there really, really well. So that's what I'm going to do. I am going to take my 450 quick dry adhesive and I'm going to run it around the rim of the candlestick. Make sure you close up your glue when you're done. And now I'm going to place this in the center of my canvas. Well, my canvas in the center of this. Actually, the other way around. And before it sets, I just want to make sure I have it exactly where I want it. And I do. And I do. And there you have it. A nice mini canvas auto candlestick. Gives a pedestal. We'll use pedestal. That makes it sound so much more fancy.
Crystal Pedestal.
A crystal pedestal. There we go. And we're done. This is the mini canvas that I made. It's super easy, super quick. Easy supplies. You can use just leftover things from your stash in an Instagram picture. Something you've taken off your phone. You could do this for, you could design it for Christmas. You could design it for a holiday. You could design it for a wedding. These would be super cute done with for a wedding. They would, with pictures of the couple done in white and gold. So many ideas that you could do this with. Is someone getting married? Yeah, the chunky canvases are pretty awesome. So this is my class for this evening. Congratulations! Yay! How exciting! If you do this for your wedding, I want to see it. Definitely. Make sure you share it, because that would be awesome. So this is my canvas for this evening. It was done really quick, so we have a quick class tonight. Oh, your son's getting married. Oh, congratulations to your son. So, and I'm just going to review the glues that I used in this today. You can find these on www.helmarworldwide.com, and you can also find our design team blog on there. I use the Helmar Premium Craft Glue. I use the Helmar 450 Quick Dry Adhesive. I used Helmar Zap Dots, white square ones in 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch. And my Lonely Little Gemstone glue, I guess I didn't really need to use it this time around, but let's give it some attention because it's pretty fabulous glue. Hi. Hi, Kelly. Does anybody have any questions about my my mini canvas on the Crystal Pedestal? Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Lucinda. And if anybody happens to try this at home, I hope I inspired you to do it, and I totally want to see that. Share it on our Facebook wall, definitely. Helmar Facebook wall. And if you were late here, my name is Kate. Sorry, my name is Kate Nolan Denham. You can find me at scissorsspatulasandSneakers.com, and I am an educator for Helmar. You can see the bottom. So this is it. Sorry about the light. So I created this, and then I glued the pedestal on. And the frame was a stamp from Susan K. Wekesser. And there's my little flower and leaf. Thank you. It's totally fun to do. It whips up so fast. So if you didn't get to catch the beginning of it, watch, because it is a fun project. A great gift idea. It is a candlestick. Yep. I had used these two candlesticks. So let's see, put these side by side. These are my daughter's and my daughter and her friends. And I created the first one for Susan K. Wekesser blog last week using her papers and her stamps. But these candlesticks came from a project that I did with Helmar 450 Quick Dry Adhesive last year for my daughter's 13th birthday. I made a record cake stand. So I had the cake stand, I I used the candlesticks with records and built a tiered cupcake stand. I didn't need that anymore. I took off the candlesticks and used them for the basis for this. Hi, Grace. It would be a fantastic Mother's Day idea. Oh, thank you for sharing that, Cheryl. That's the blog post where I shared the first mini canvas pedestal I did. That would be very awesome. You know what would be cool down there too is some bling. Bling that thing right out. Great idea. I might have to do that. One of these is going to my daughter. This is going in her bedroom, and the other one is going to her girlfriend who liked this one. Now I have to go search out, I think, flowers and bling. I'll have to look, once I flower and bling it out some more, I'll post that for you to look at. Is Lucinda known for bling? I'm actually going to stop recording. We can keep talking. Thank you for joining me tonight at Helmar Live, and we'll see you soon.